Time now for our Save Big Money at Menards Fox feature. You'd have to have thrown your TV out of the window to miss all the ads and controversy around daily fantasy sports. And since you're watching this right now, I find that unlikely. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But is it gambling or a game of skill? The state of Illinois so far says it's akin to online poker. But is there momentum to change that distinction?
In Illinois, the Attorney General has issued an opinion that says that she thinks it's gambling. There's a court case that's going on. In the interim, there's also some legislation that's been introduced that would clarify that fantasy sports are in fact legal in Illinois, and would also establish some basic consumer protection measures. And that's what the industry is endorsing. We're trying to work with the government here to make it so that the 2 million people who play fantasy sports in Illinois can continue to do so in all its forms. And we like the positive energy we've seen so far, the direction it's going, the willingness to work with the industry, and we're very hopeful of a good outcome on the legislative front.
The comparison is, especially within the industry, to poker, when they call it a game of skill, and they use poker as an example. But then again, poker is considered gambling. So where's the distinction there?
So in most states, it's whether something's betting or not is how much skill is involved. So poker somewhere along the spectrum, but we feel like fantasy sports is very far towards the skill spectrum. And the difference between poker and fantasy sports is that no luck event needs to happen in fantasy sports. There's not the dice aren't rolled. There's no turn of the card. Everyone starts with the exact same slate. You can pick any players you want, and then a winner happens. Poker, it's a little bit different.
The other thing that we hear a lot from people who have concerns about the industry is the thought that there are pros out there, the people that have an advantage, whether it's playing 100 games at once or having the algorithms that I know are somewhat contentious in the industry right now. Why is that something that either will be addressed or shouldn't be of concern in your mind?
So any game of skill is going to have certain people that are better than others. Think about golf or tennis or some other activity you play. There's all if you go to your country club or your local golf course and you're in a golf tournament, there's going to be some guys that are just they put more time into it. They're better. They're going to win more frequently. So that's always going to happen. The second part are like people playing more games, doing that kind of stuff, and that's where we're trying to work with the government to say these are new games. This is new technology. If there's something that we feel like is unfair, doesn't create a fair playing field for everyone, let's address that.
All right, so the one part I don't know if I'm buying is a guy running a computer program that allows him to change hundreds of lineups faster than you can change your one. I don't know if that qualifies as just being better at fantasy sports, but we talked about...
That's skillful, though.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about the budget crisis, that it's crippling universities in the state. So call it gambling or not, there's billions of dollars here. Why not regulate it, tax it, and you could do some good with that, right?
Because it makes too much sense. This really ticks me off. When you showed the house downstate earlier in the show, and they can't come up with a budget, and our state is basically bankrupt. Here's a billion-dollar business, and all it takes is a little forward thinking to work with them. Get your money on this. This is, everybody wants to play. I played at FanDuel this year. Cash in if you're the state of Illinois. There's money to be had for everybody.
And when you do that, you can also try to do what you can to regulate it and make sure that everybody does have an equal chance, because I think that's important for the average player that maybe doesn't have a chance to be on there every 2 seconds like some people are.